Libra, welcome to your tarot reading for 2025 using the astrology houses. I was trying to find a better way of saying that, but that's really what this is coming down to. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because this really does touch on all of the areas of your birth chart. And so all of these kind of major areas of your life are going to be impacted in one way or another throughout all of 2025. So if this does resonate with you, if you like this format, I might do it again mid-year. These are pretty lengthy. They tend to run over an hour in length. So I'm not going to do them that frequently, but if I get positive feedback, then maybe I'll do a mid-year check-in. And so right away, I'm going to start with the first house. And what I'm doing here is pulling just what is the major theme relative to your first house. Your first house is yourself. So it's ruled by Libra. It's your physical body. And these would be kind of those kind of overarching themes to you for the year. And so the three cards that I'm getting are the Seven of Swords with the Star and the Strength. So this indicates to me that a truth has been revealed to you. I'm getting definitely the later half of 2024. Some sort of secret came to the surface. Something here, you became aware of somebody's lies, manipulation, deceit. You became aware of their true intentions. So if somebody was trying to play games with you or something along those lines, you caught on. And what you've been working on and what you will be working on in 2025 is find the strength to move on. So it could have been a romantic relationship or any kind of real relationship that had a significant impact on you. So you might be trying to move on from that in 2025, but part of this process is you healing, finding this inner strength to really work through. And that's the emphasis. Work through whatever happened here, whatever caused kind of pain as a result of these kind of lies, manipulation, and deceit. I'm not picking up a heavy trauma, but I'm definitely picking up that there's pain involved. So it feels like you are going to be able to surmount this in 2025. Let's get any kind of obstacles or challenges here for you. Okay, I'm getting a fourth card. Yeah, so King of Swords, Four of Swords. It's about taking the time that you need to in order to heal from whatever truth came to the surface. The King of Swords is about cutting something away. This is your energy showing up with that Four of Swords. So you might just need to take a break or make sure that you're taking enough time away from other people, just kind of isolating yourself, thinking things through in order to be able to process whatever happened here so you can move on. I am seeing the Eight of Wands with a Wheel of Fortune. So there might be other conversations that you're having with this person, or you might find yourself in a position to really start opening up and talking about whatever happened here. It just is going to depend on you, and it's going to depend on how much you trust the other person that you're speaking to. I'm definitely getting a sense that you're really going to be selective in who you talk to about this entire situation. Not everybody needs to know your business, and this is going to be you making really decisions on who to trust, but it's going to come down to just how do you feel? Can you trust your own instincts? But with the Wheel of Fortune showing up here, things are going to turn around. That is a positive turn of events. And you might have some sort of fated conversation here, because I'm definitely getting that message, where in the course of talking about what happened to you, how it impacted you, you really do open up, and that kind of, it almost becomes a catalyst for more change, for more growth in you. So let's get your advice here for the first house. So the three cards that I'm getting here, we have the Page of Swords showing up. So this is the conversation. It is going to be in your best interest to open up and talk to somebody. Ace of Wands, and the movement forward is going to come in connection with this conversation. Three of Wands does indicate it's a card of patience, delays, things like that, but it's more of, it maybe didn't happen overnight, the lies, manipulation, and deceit, because it feels like it was building over a period of time. So it was kind of lie, stacked on top of lie, stacked on top of an omission. That is also another form of lying. So there's a lot of things that kind of led up to this point, and it's going to take time for things to unfold. So it does feel like the majority of the year. I'm definitely getting 9 months. 6 is kind of being highlighted to me right now. So it might take 6 to 9 months to really work through the bulk of it, but you will. It's 6 months is going to go by in the blink of an eye. It really is. I'm recording this in right before New Year's in 2024, and before you know it, it's going to be New Year's going into 2026. So don't let the time hang up get to you. As I'm putting these cards back and shuffling, I'm going to start talking about the next house. So the next house here is the second house, which is ruled by Scorpio for you. And I am using whole sign houses, so if this doesn't necessarily line up, it's because I'm using that chart system, not the Vedic or whatever that standard one is. I actually just find, just in doing my own chart readings, like just for myself and kind of close friends, that the whole signs does tend to be more accurate. So take it as it resonates. You might want to listen to one of the other readings. You'll know because the zodiac sign is going to be the first house. So if this one doesn't fully resonate for you, you can check out another one. That one might resonate a little bit more, or you can check out your rising sign if this is your sun sign, things like that. So jumping into the second house here, this is all about your personal finances. So think of the things that you already own, the investments that you've already made. This would be the money that you currently have in your bank account. It's that kind of energy. It's also what you value, what you kind of love about, just tangible love. Like, what is it that you love? Maybe it's collecting different things like baseball cards or art or something along those lines, but it would be something that has some sort of value connected to it. And for you, it is in the sign of Scorpio. And so what I'm doing here is just pulling a little bit again about what your themes are. So we do have some cards coming out. Page of Cups is showing up. Four of Pentacles. King of Wands. Seven of Cups. Okay, so I'm really getting a sense that you're going to be looking for some sort of financial advice during 2025. So you might seek out some sort of advisor here, somebody that can help direct you in on a specific path, or kind of help you with any kind of investment strategy that you might want to come up with. The Page of Cups showing up with the Four of Pentacles does indicate to me that you've kind of established a foundation for yourself, and you just maybe have a fear about losing it. There is something that you want to do with this foundation, but really you don't want to do anything if it's going to come at a sacrifice. That's the energy that I'm picking up from you, which makes sense. You're very much a Libra, where you're trying to find some sort of balance. Hold on to what you have, but then also grow and expand at the same time, which is exactly where I see that King of Wands coming into play. The King of Wands is about some sort of action that you want to take, but looking for clarity from another person. And so the conversations that you would have with this financial advisor, or even maybe somebody that you know that is really good with money, the conversations are going to be along the lines of, this is what I have, these are the goals that I've set for myself. What do I need to do to get there? How do I not lose everything in my pursuit of growth and expansion here? Let's get, that's okay. We have a lot of cards that want to come out for you when it comes to any kind of obstacles or challenges here. One more. Okay. So the obstacles and challenges that you're going to be looking at here, interesting that the Six of Wands is showing up. And so I'm getting some sort of inner obstacles and challenges. Again, it's going to come back down to, what do you feel comfortable from a growth strategy standpoint? We do have the Death card showing up with the Five of Pentacles. And so there might be some sort of temporary loss in your finances or some sort of change that's going to occur. But with the Six of Wands showing up, you're going to easily overcome them. Whatever is happening here is going to be very temporary. With the Six of Wands, Five of Pentacles, I mean, they're very different energies. One is about success, overcoming obstacles and challenges, and one is about kind of this sudden loss that might be taking place. And because it's showing up as the Five of Pentacles, it's not showing up as the Tower. This is not going to be something that's monumental, but it is going to create some sort of shift. So I'm getting a sense of, you might be trying to do some of these strategies on your own without any kind of guidance, and you might learn pretty quickly that you do need some sort of guidance here. Let's get any advice for you. This is really interesting. Really interesting. I am getting the Two of Cups showing up. This does talk about a union, so it does look like you might get into some sort of union with a financial advisor. This could maybe indicate that maybe you're dating somebody, married to somebody, or have some sort of love interest that is really good at this too. And this might be a way for you to kind of open up the door, have conversations with this person on a deeper level, because when you talk about your personal finances, that's very personal. But what's interesting here is I also received the King and the Queen of Swords with the Two of Swords in the middle. And so there are going to be a lot of conversations here around what is going to be your best path. And so it looks like whatever conversations are taking place, whomever you decide is going to be your best fit from a financial advisor standpoint, there's going to be a lot of conversations. This feels like it's going to be multiple iterations of the conversation until you get to a point where you feel good about where things are going. And so that Two of Cups does indicate that there might be this kind of back and forth. There might be services that you're doing for these people in exchange for you getting the kind of advice that you're looking for. I think it's interesting that the King and Queen of Swords show up in the way that they do, just because that does talk about just intelligent conversation based on data. It's not based on feelings or anything like that. The conversations are not going to be emotion-driven conversations at all on both sides. And so the next house here is the third house. The third house is all about your communication. For you, it's ruled by Sagittarius. And so conversations, communications, you might find that they're lighthearted, very optimistic, high-level types of conversations here. The third house does incorporate more. So it's also short distance travel. It's your siblings. It's the way that you understand information. It's not just the words that you speak. And really think about anything in close proximity to you. That would be ruled by the third house. And so with the third house here, I'm just going to grab a deck and we'll get what your theme is. So the three cards that are coming up here, we do have the Nine of Pentacles showing up. We have the Page of Swords, and we have the Devil showing up. So the Devil it's Capricorn energy. You are going to be really centered around growth and prosperity this year. There's something really connected to abundance showing through. The Nine of Pentacles does indicate that whatever abundance that you're going after, you're able to do this on your own. There's something really solid about the way that you're moving forward. So again, could be these conversations that you're having with other people. Page of Swords, Devil energy showing up. And so conversations around your own limitations and restrictions as it relates to creating your own abundance, really looking for that guidance outside. Or there could be something connected here to any kind of releasing of old limitations and restrictions, and maybe thinking of unconventional, out-of-the-box ways of creating abundance for yourself. So when I look at the obstacles and challenges, I'm getting the Two of Wands, which does indicate that you're able to see way off into the distance. The trouble here is that you can see it in the distance. You ultimately know where you want to end up. It's just a matter of what path do you take to get there. That's actually a reoccurring theme. We might see that show up more throughout the reading. We do have the Knight of Pentacles showing up as well. So this is a lot of learning that's going to take place. Conversations, an exchange of ideas and information coming across. We do have the Seven of Pentacles, and so this is about the investments. So it's not that on day one, you're going to know exactly what you need to invest in or be ready for these types of conversations, whatever's going to lead to your abundance. This is something that is going to evolve over time, and I'm definitely getting the 9 again, so we'll see how this plays out. But I'm picking up that abundance is a really big theme for you next year. And it feels like abundance in multiple areas, not just in finances, although that one's been highlighted already. So when I look at your advice here, this is really fascinating. So I have the Knight of Cups showing up, King of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. So Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups, I mean, this is moving forward. This aligns with what you want. Ace of Cups, you're looking at some sort of new beginning. It feels like a new chapter. It's not a brand new book. This is a new chapter. So something here is, there's some sort of opportunity that you're going to really want to consider. It's going to align with what speaks to you on an emotional level. You're going to get more emotional fulfillment out of this than you would have in the past. The King of Pentacles does indicate here that stability. I mean, there's a lot of stability. You're very focused on your abundance and stability. That's what the King of Pentacles is all about. The King of Pentacles really wants to grow and cultivate things over time, get to that end point of feeling like I have enough. I've done the best that I can. And I feel really good about the accomplishments that I've made. So I like how this is playing out for you. This does indicate a lot of really abundant, fruitful conversations. And I'm getting a lot of growth and expansion as it relates to your friends. We haven't gotten there yet. There is a house that's connected to your friends, but I am getting growth and expansion in your friends. So there's something about whatever conversations you're having related to your finances and just being that kind of level of open and available and vulnerable is going to open up other opportunities for you, other areas where you can get abundance and receive abundance. The next house is the 4th house. So this is the house of home. So think of your home environment. What kind of decor do you have? What kind of physical structure do you live in? Where do you live from a location standpoint? Are you happy renting or owning? Or, you know, think about your entire home environment. How does that all make you feel? Because the home environment is really where we go to escape the rest of the world. And so let's get your theme here. But first, while I'm shuffling, for you, this is ruled by the sign of Capricorn, which is all about structure and stability. You might be the type of person that likes things put away. You might be that kind of, I don't want to say OCD, although that can definitely be the kind of darker side to the Capricorn energy where you're so structured that everything has to go back exactly where it belongs, but that kind of energy. So let's get your overall theme. So in 2025, for your home environment, I am getting the Wheel of Fortune. So here's growth and abundance. This is Jupiter energy. This is expansion. We have the Ace of Wands. You're getting a lot of aces. So you're definitely starting out some sort of new chapter here. And it feels like whatever it is that you're doing, you have that growth mindset. 8 of Swords does indicate a self-imposed prison of the mind. It's actually very similar to that Capricorn energy. And so you might be doing a lot of thinking about all the actions that you're taking. How does that impact all of the areas of your life? What kind of growth and abundance are you trying to seek? And then really, it's about stepping out and taking some sort of action, those kind of first steps. Yeah. So when I look at your 4th house here, Queen of Swords is showing up. 4 of Pentacles is showing up, as well as the Ace of Pentacles. So it does look like that whatever is taking place here, the obstacles and challenges are, it's like a fear of losing what you have. You're looking for growth and prosperity here. And I've definitely been picking up this energy, but there's this fear of losing out what you've already established. And it's more of, how do you structure things in a way that doesn't allow for that to happen? How do you grow, but also maintain at the same time? Because that's not really possible. Those are very different concepts. You're either focused on maintaining or you're focused on growing. But there is a way to structure your growth so that maybe it's a slower growth. It's not that kind of high risk, high loss type of risk connected to it. Because I'm definitely getting this growth and abundance connected to your home environment. So if you are trying to save money to maybe buy another home or move into a different location, something along those lines, you do have this fear of, well, if I do that, then I lose the opportunity that I currently have. I lose the place where I currently live. And there's something about that, but it does feel like you are looking for something new because you're looking to grow and expand. Let's see if we can get 3 cards on your advice here. So your advice when it comes to your home and the way to navigate this energy, we do have the Knight of Wands showing up. So the Knight of Wands is forward movement. This can be impulsive movement. We do have the Emperor showing up. The Emperor is not impulsive, but I do have the Seven of Swords showing up. So the Seven of Swords and the Knight of Wands feel very connected here. And so there might be actions that you want to take, but you're being cautioned to really think it through before you take any kind of action here. The Emperor showing up it's Mars, it's the god of war. And so you don't go into war without some sort of strategy. That's the advice here. And really kind of look beneath the surface on something, really get down to the true intentions of the actions that you're taking, because we do have that Seven of Swords showing up. So make sure that you're understanding the picture holistically before you take any kind of action. But it feels like once you make up your mind and you're ready to move forward, nothing is going to stop you here. Not with that Emperor energy. And so the next house here is the 5th house. So the 5th house is the house of fun, house of pleasure. This is where you find children, because it is the house of sex. But it's also short-term relationships, passions, hobbies, anything that you enjoy doing for fun. So let's get some energy here. I'm actually getting, I should use this deck again. So I'll talk a little bit about the Aquarius ruling your 5th house. With Aquarius ruling your 5th house, this is changes, transformation that is going to be taking place here. So if part of your growth and expansion relates to maybe having more children, making room for more children in your life in some sort of way, or kind of growing and expanding as it relates to your hobbies, letting those kind of lead to some sort of abundance, that is being highlighted here. From an astrology standpoint, let's get what the tarot says. And I'm getting a 4th. Okay. So where I was getting new chapter for the other aces that were showing up, I have a brand new book that's coming up here. So with the full energy, this is a brand new beginning. This is a brand new cleared karma, just something that feels like you're really trying to get off the ground. Whether it's having children, it would be akin to having children or starting some sort of project. I am getting the Knight of Pentacles connected to it. So there's a lot of information that you're going to be learning during this process. There's a lot of kind of thinking things through, coming up with some sort of strategy here. We do have the 10 of Pentacles. So you could be focused on having children. That might be highlighted for you in 2025 if that's not your story. Whatever it is that you're pursuing, you are looking for long-term happiness, abundance, growth, stability. That is what the 10 of Pentacles is all about. But this is the card of family. So there is that connected to the house where children are, just putting that out there. But I am seeing the 6 of Swords as well. So there is some sort of movement here that's taking place. You're going to be taking in a lot of information, and it's going to really help you figure out what do you need to do in order to get what you want out of this. So whether it's you're, pursuing some sort of hobby, growing and expanding something here, or maybe having children, those are all being highlighted. Let's get one more. Okay, we got 2. So the obstacles and challenges here are centered around 6 of Pentacles. So this indicates a card of generosity. If part of your goals and things like that as they relate to the 5th house, if they involve spending money, a challenge here would be, do you have enough in order to be able to share with other people? We do have the King of Wands showing up here. So what kind of actions do you want to take? We do have the 9 of Swords showing up with the Justice as well. And so that is your card. That is the card of Libra. So it feels like you're kind of back and forth with, do I just maintain the status quo or do I grow and expand? There seems to be that kind of back and forth vacillation of energy as you navigate the year in all of these different areas. And so what it's coming down to is you want to make sure that you have enough resources in order to meet your own needs. But then it's also, okay, well, what else can I do here? What else do I need to do here? You just have this fear of losing what you have, of losing any stability that you've already created for yourself. Okay. The advice for you you definitely have some sort of fear. We do have the Ten of Swords showing up. I have the Hierophant showing up, as well as the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords does talk about that inner conflict, trying to find some sort of resolution to this inner conflict. The Hierophant showing up, so this is Taurus energy, very grounded, very practical, focused on what you love. And so we've got two cards that kind of relate to marriage and family showing up here. So you might find that you want to lean on other people, your spouse if you're married, other kind of people in your immediate family that you can really trust and rely upon. But part of the guidance here is to disconnect from whatever pain, whatever insecurities that you might have. That's a wound. There's something here that's being triggered. Growth and expansion. You have this fear around growth and expansion, and it's kind of being triggered in multiple ways in 2025, but it's being triggered so that you can work on it. It's showing you where you don't need to be in that energy anymore. There's something that you need to disconnect and work through from the past. And that's a mental disconnect with that Ten of Swords. The next house is the Sixth House. So the Sixth House is all about your daily routines. So think about all of the things that you do on a regular basis. What does your work-life balance look like? How much time do you spend at work? Do you work out of your home? Like, how does this all play out for you? This is in the sign of Pisces. We are moving into the Pisces Virgo eclipse season. So it officially starts in January. We've already experienced some of it at the end of 2024. One more. And because Pisces is the North Node, there's some sort of lesson that you need to learn about your daily life. There's some sort of, these are karmic lessons. This is roughly a 1.5 year period where something is really being highlighted for you. The North Node is something that we need to move towards. This is a lesson that we need to learn. So there's something connected to your daily life. And this could even relate to health and wellness that's showing up for you here. And so, yeah, there's definitely something connected to your health that's coming to the surface. We do have the Magician, which is about manifesting. So there's something here that you really want to pursue in your kind of everyday life. And maybe up until now, you really haven't been able to. Maybe you just haven't had the time to devote to making time for it or something along those lines. But with the Queen of Cups showing up, you're going to start prioritizing what really matters to you. This Queen of Cups is a lot of times a self-care card. So really prioritizing what you need in your life in order to live your best life and feel really good about it. We do have the Moon showing up. The Moon is about your emotions. There is, for women, it's also connected to hormones. But there's also something kind of beneath the surface connected to your health and well-being. It feels like the time that you need to carve out for yourself is really going to do you a lot of good from a mental health standpoint, from a physical health standpoint, really just making sure that your needs are being met before you're able to meet anybody else's needs. That seems to be the lesson that you need to learn in your daily life. You can't overextend yourself to the point of just pure exhaustion. You're not going to be beneficial to anybody in any way if that's the energy that you have or the lack of energy that you have, because you're going to get depleted really quick. Yeah. Okay. So it's these three cards. The Hierophant is showing up as a challenge here. King of Pentacles and the World. So the pursuit of abundance and stability here, maybe in connection with another person. So if your story is growing a family, part of you might feel like you need to overwork or work more hours or something along those lines so that you're able to save more money, create that abundance, but at the same time you're depleting yourself. And so prioritizing yourself and your needs is definitely going to be number one. And that does mean prioritizing your needs, your emotional needs above this pursuit of abundance. That's how this is coming across. We do have the World showing up. So it feels like whatever abundance is going to come into your life is going to come into your life. You don't need to work 80 hours a week in order for you to make that happen. I'm just getting the sense that money's not everything. It's good. You need it. We all need it. It's great to have. But there can be a point of that diminishing returns where you overwork yourself to the point you can't even enjoy it. The advice for you as it relates to the sixth house energy is the Six of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and Judgment. So what I'm getting a sense of with the Six of Pentacles, you are looking for abundance. Getting yourself to a point of feeling comfortable is really the only thing that you need to accomplish. You don't need to get yourself to the point of becoming a billionaire, not at the expense of your health, and not mental health, physical health, all of those things. And so the Page of Cups and the Judgment, I mean, you're going after exactly what you want to do. You're making some sort of decision, or you're being encouraged to make some sort of decision to really kind of draw the line in the sand. What is the balance between creating the abundance and the time and effort that you need to put into this endeavor versus prioritizing your own needs? This is what you need to do. This is the balance that you need to find with this North Node in your sixth house. And so that one is actually going to, it's going to continue, if I can get the words out. It'll continue into 2026 because the eclipse cycles are roughly a year and a half. And so we're just officially moving into this one in January, so it will be here. The next house is the seventh house. So this is all about your partnerships. This is those one-to-one relationships. If you're married, it's your spouse. It's also the marriage contract. So contracts and negotiations are part of this house. And contracts, because marriage is actually a contract, it's a legally binding contract that does require a court to dissolve it. That's where the divorce comes into play. So divorce is also part of the seventh house energy. For you, this is ruled by the sign of Aries, and so we'll get whatever your theme is in this area. It doesn't have to be a marriage partnership, but it's usually that kind of relationship. So you might have other really strong interpersonal relationships. Think of like business partnerships or anything else that might require a legal contract, or maybe just falls just shy of those legal contracts. Like think of a live-in, a boyfriend or girlfriend, something like that. So when I look at the theme for you as it relates to that seventh house energy, I am getting the Queen of Cups, Seven of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. So the Seven of Swords, I'm getting a sense of, again, prioritizing yourself within some sort of connection or some sort of relationship. Seven of Swords, it's lies, manipulation, and deceit. And that's really somebody else's intentions towards you. And so you might be in some sort of relationship here where somebody might be keeping something from you. They might be hiding their feelings or just not forthcoming with a lot of information. If it's more on you, then it's about your intentions, which is really prioritizing yourself. When somebody else is manipulating you, it's for their benefit. And so when you are manipulating yourself, it's really for your benefit. It's not about manipulating yourself. It's really about just prioritizing yourself. That's how it's coming across. And so with the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups here, it does seem like this is something that you want. You want to be in this type of relationship. It's not about that. But you want to make sure that you're getting the right amount of priority when it comes to this relationship. So let's get your obstacles and challenges here. So the three cards that I'm getting here, we do have the Fool. So it looks like you're about to embark on some sort of new chapter. Page of Pentacles, that requires some sort of conversation. Knight of Pentacles, and so kind of a slow-moving energy. You might be having a real heart-to-heart with somebody here around what is the future of this relationship. Is it worth saving? Is it worth even having? I'm trying to pick up other energy too, because not everybody's going to be in this type of relationship where they're going to have those types of conversations. And for those not in that type of relationship, you might be on the verge of entering into one of these types of relationships, but I'm just getting a sense of questioning their motives and whether or not this is really going to be what you want it to be. Because the Knight of Pentacles is really being highlighted here. The Knight of Pentacles is about getting to know each other on a very deep level and really building something over time. So there's something about this, some sort of conversation around what is it that you truly want, kind of getting to the root of, are you on the same page as this person? Is this relationship going to last? So when I look at the advice here for you, I'm getting the Three of Cups, which is really focusing on, it feels like building and establishing some sort of friendship. So if you're in an existing relationship and it's gotten a little stale or stagnant, I can see where the conversations are now coming into play around what is the future here. This is about reconnecting on a friend level, because when it comes to the 7th house relationship, it should have a basis in friendship as a starting point. That's how this is coming across. You need to be able to like each other in order to be able to spend time together and really be able to have those conversations. Think back to when you first started dating the person. You really got to know the person on that kind of level before you really started developing deeper feelings. And so it's about kind of getting back into that energy. 5 of Cups is also showing up. So it's about a change in perspective. It's about kind of viewing this relationship through a different lens and maybe taking a different approach with this person. But I am getting the 4 of Wands. So it does feel like the relationship itself is going to continue, but maybe there's some modifications that need to take place. And if you're entering into a relationship like this in 2025, it feels like your perception of relationships might be different now than they were in the past, because a lot has been changing for you. And it looks like you're very focused on marriage, which is what the 7th house is all about here. And maybe not marriage explicitly, although a lot of people do want to get married. It could be more of just that long-term, stable, committed relationship that maybe just falls short of that legal contract. And then we have the 8th house here. The 8th house it's one of the death houses, so it's a malefic house, but it's transformation, it's death and rebirth. It's Scorpio energy, it's Pluto energy, all of that very similar here. And so with the 8th house, for you, it's ruled by Taurus, which is very grounded, very practical. So any kind of changes that are taking place are really highlighting what you value, what you want more of in your life, what you want to get rid of that you don't value here. And the other themes within that house really do pertain to money. So it would be your spouse's income if you're married. It would be the money that you earn from an employer. This would also be relative to the debt that you're paying out to other people, things like that. So there's a lot of kind of power and control. It's also part of this house. So if somebody's controlling you through money, that would show up here. That's more on the negative side. A lot of times this is about some sort of transformation. So let's get... Yeah. So the theme here, we have the 4 of Cups, we have the 7 of Swords, and we have the Death card. So there's some sort of change here that's taking place, starting with a disappointment around information that might have been withheld from you, or some sort of lie or truth that came to the surface that is leading to some sort of transformation. It's funny that we got the Death card in the Death house. Very similar energy. This is Pluto energy. The 8th house is very similar to Pluto energy. So there's something here that's changing. Your perception of a situation is changing. You're letting go of whatever lies, manipulation, or deceit has occurred, wherever that led to some sort of disappointment here. It looks like, and I was getting that sense, and it's showing up that way. So it's connection to a relationship here. We do have the 3 of Cups showing up in your challenge position with the 3 of Wands and the Lovers here. So the challenges here have been around maybe this relationship got really stagnant. Maybe you were put in a third-party situation. I'm getting a sense of whatever's been happening, you've been on this path for a while. This is not new, but it's kind of almost coming to a head at this point. It really does need to be addressed now, and it feels like you are kind of working through this. So whether you put somebody in a third party or somebody put you in a third party, I'm picking up on that energy. That's not going to be applicable to everybody here, but I am getting a sense of that you've kind of lost your way as it relates to a relationship here. Somewhere along the path, you took different paths. You kind of each prioritized your own interests, but it feels like there is going to be some sort of change here that kind of brings it back around. So let's get your advice here for the 8th house. So your advice here, we do have the Knight of Cups. So what is it that you truly want? What do you want to explore and go after? Because the Knight of Cups is kind of that Casanova energy. So what is it that you want to go after? We do have the Moon. So this is things in shadow. This is your emotions. There's something about you inside have an idea on what exactly you want to pursue. 9 of Swords, you are a little bit hesitant here. You have this kind of fear or anxiety around how is it going to be received by the other person, but it also feels like this is something that you need to do for yourself. You need to be able to put whatever happened in the past behind you, whether or not you have a future with this person. If it's the 7th house person, I was getting that you do have a future with them, but if it's another relationship in your life, you might find yourself figuring out, is it worth it? Is this something that I really want to do? It's going to come down to how big was the lie? How much forgiveness can you muster? Does it make sense for you to continue here? The next house is the 9th house. If you are an early degree Libra, I'm definitely picking up some of your energy, because when I looked at the 9th for the 9th house, so I have cards here with all the houses with the signs underneath, just so I can remember what sign is connected to what house for you, because when I do this for all the signs, it does get a little bit confusing. But the 9 really spoke out to me, and I got birthday. And so 9th house birthday, so 9th month, so end of September birthdays for Libra. There's going to be an extra message in here for you, or maybe it just resonates a little bit more. So let's get, let me maybe just pause for a second. So the 9th house is about growth and expansion. So think of all the ways that you grow and expand through higher education, learning another language, maybe interacting with people from different cultures, anything that would really help you evolve as a person. For you, this is ruled by the sign of Gemini. So there's a duality to this. There's also a need to get to the truth, see things as they really are, kind of understand things from multiple angles. So let's see if we can get your theme here. So the 3 cards that showed up, we do have the Sun, we have the King of Swords, and we have the Fool showing up here. So the Sun, King of Swords, Fool card. I mean, the King of Swords is your energy, so this is you right in the middle. But with the Sun and the Fool, whatever's happening here, you're being given a lot of green lights to grow and expand. There's a lot of hope and optimism connected to it with the Sun. And with the Fool card, I mean, this is that brand new chapter, brand new story. So whatever it is that you're exploring, I'm definitely getting that 5th house energy. So whatever it is that you're trying to pursue in order to kind of grow what you already have, you're being given a lot of green lights here from the universe to go after it. So let's get any kind of obstacles and challenges you would have as it relates to the 9th house energy. Definitely getting a sense that you're going to need to be open to change here for sure. We do have the Knight of Cups, so this indicates that you're going to be pursuing something, but then the Tower kind of intervenes and says, okay, hold up, this isn't really going the way that you think it's going to go. Let's remove those blocks and barriers. So you're encountering some obstacles and challenges here. There's going to be some sort of block or barrier. We do have the Page of Swords. They are going to be removed, and the 8 of Cups is going to show up. And what it's showing you is a better path forward in order to get that expansion or abundance that you're really looking for. And so let's get the advice, because the challenge here is going to be that you start out on one path and you think that you're going in a really solid direction, and then something happens and you're all of a sudden put on a different path, because that's what this Uranus energy is doing. It's really kind of almost uplifting you and reinserting you on the path that you want to be on. So let's get the advice. So the advice for you here, we do have the star showing up. I love to see that showing up for you in this way. This indicates you getting exactly what you want, your hopes, your dreams, all of it. Page of Cups, so you might be having conversations with other people around exactly what you want. But then Hanged Man, this is where you're kind of uprooted and replanted somewhere else on a different path, a different journey here. But with the Hanged Man, this is all about seeing things from a different perspective. This is that kind of upending so that you can move forward in a different way, in a different direction. I like the way that this is playing out for you. This is really all good, positive things connected to your growth and expansion. The next house is your 10th house. So your 10th house is all about your career and public reputation. For you, this is ruled by the sign of Cancer. Cancer is a very empathetic sign. It's mother. Mother is usually represented by Cancer, Capricorn by father. So kind of that mothering type of energy. You might find yourself in some type of work that really, I'm getting in service to other people. There might be a strong emotional connection to what you do and how you help and benefit other people, or you just might be seen that way as a very strong, nurturing type of person. So let's get your overall theme as it relates to your work and career in 2025. So the three cards that I'm getting are Judgment, Hermit, and the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles indicates some sort of conversation around exactly what are your long-term goals here. Judgment and Hermit do indicate that you're doing work internally. You're kind of going inside, really thinking things through. The Hermit energy is Virgo energy. So this is that in service to other people. That's what's showing up here in the cards. But this also, Virgo is very analytical, will overthink a situation. Sometimes that's more on the negative side of that Virgo energy, the dark side of it. But the light side of it is, let me just think this through. Let me take the time that I need, absorb, and kind of move forward from there. Judgment is showing up. And so you might be having conversations around movement in your career or public reputation. More career is what I'm getting at this point. And so you might be presented with an opportunity that requires you to do a lot of thinking, evaluating, is this really what I want? Having those conversations, is this where I see my career going? But you will make a decision. I mean, with that Judgment card, you will make a decision. So let's get whatever obstacles and challenges come out. Okay. So it looks like as it relates to the obstacles and challenges coming out here, we do have the 10 of Cups, which is your emotional fulfillment, your long-term emotional fulfillment. We have the 10 of Swords. We have the Lovers showing up, as well as the 5 of Wands. So you might be facing challenges around what are your career goals? What exactly are you trying to do as it relates to your significant other? There could be, maybe it's not your significant other, maybe it's family members or a serious relationship that you're in. You're facing obstacles and challenges around whatever is being presented to you. I'm also just getting this sense of you don't feel like you're ready or you're not worthy of this in some sort of way. I'm definitely getting that sense from you. Or maybe if you entered into this type of, because I'm getting multiple. So if you kind of took advantage of this career opportunity, whatever's being presented to you, then what kind of impact would that have on your family life? and family life is being highlighted here. So let's get your advice. Okay. So the 3 cards that I received, 8 of Wands, 4 of Swords, and the Emperor. So the 4 of Swords is very similar to that Hermit energy where you're really kind of taking that step back away from the situation, other people, retreating into yourself, kind of taking the time you need to really think things through and maybe even heal from something here. 8 of Wands, Emperor, it does look like you are going to make a very firm decision. You're going to be outspoken around exactly what this decision is. It feels like whatever's being presented to you, you're leaning towards going for it. That's the energy that I'm picking up on, but that's not going to be true for everybody because I'm not getting that really solid confidence. You're absolutely 100% going to take it. So I'm getting the majority will, but then there's going to be a subset of you, a pretty big minority will not. And so that tells me it's more like a 60-40, maybe a 55-45 kind of split. But whatever it is that you decide to do, it's going to be that you're acting in your own best interest. You're really going to make the right decision for you and then be outspoken about it. Because I'm also getting a sense of whatever this opportunity is that's being presented to you, it maybe doesn't fully align with your goals and your ambitions. And you might decide to wait for something more in alignment with what you want. So then we get to the 11th house here. So the 11th house is your friends. It's your group of friends. It's not those individual relationships. Those individual relationships, if they're really close friends, would be part of the 7th house energy. This would be the collective. So how you interact with those people, the way that they see you, all of it. For you, this is ruled by Leo. I'm getting a very strong sense of community out of you, that interacting with other people, really highlighting those types of relationships is important to you. Because it's more than just your friendships. It really is the community around you. And that could include, like if you're really close to your siblings, that would include your siblings. Siblings also show up in the 3rd house because they're usually in close proximity, especially if you live in the same house. So there's multiple ways that siblings can show up for you here, but I'm definitely getting a sense of your friends, your community around you is pretty important. Those relationships are important. So let's get your overall theme here. So the 3 cards that are showing up, I have the 9 of Cups showing up, 10 of Pentacles, and I have the Devil. There's something about these relationships that you have with these people. Some are good, some are not. The Devil energy, I mean, it is Capricorn energy, but this is about kind of unhealthy attachments or unhealthy expectations of that type of relationship here. But with the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, I mean, you really do love your friends. I mean, there's something, you've probably had these friends for a long period of time because these friendships are really important to you. But I'm definitely getting a sense that some of these friendships, they just run their course. You've outgrown them with that Devil energy. Let's get obstacles or challenges connected to your friends here. Okay, I'm getting a sense of as you embark on whatever this journey is that leads to abundance, not everybody's going to be happy for you. And it's really about taking a critical eye to those friendships. Are those relationships worth keeping? Are these people worth having in your life in some way? Even if it's not a close friend, but maybe more of an acquaintance, I can't get the word out, acquaintance, then maybe that's it. I'm just getting that sense from the energy. Let's see what's showing up here. We do have the Fool showing up here. So your new beginning, not everybody's going to be on board. There's going to be jealous people. They're not going to be okay with you succeeding while they stay still. They're just not. 9 of Pentacles is showing up, so definitely connected to your abundance. And the Strength card here. So Leo energy showing up pretty loud and clear. Your obstacles and challenges are going to relate to those people that want to hold you back or want you to stay in some sort of stuck energy, not in this abundant energy at all. They're not going to be okay with you moving forward. And so you're going to have to find some sort of strength here to either Have an honest conversation around their intentions towards you and their intentions towards the relationship, and whether or not you even want them to be your friends. Let's get some advice. One more. For your advice, I am getting the Five of Swords, Ten of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. So when it comes to those friends, and I'm isolating this small group, this subset of friends that you have that get very jealous of your success here. And the advice is really going to be as it relates to them. Five of Swords, it's going to come down to Five of Swords, Ten of Swords. Can you work through whatever the conflicts are? Or is this something that you just need to kind of make peace with and release? Do you need to release those relationships? Knight of Wands, it feels like the decision is going to be completely up to you. The actions that you take are going to be completely your own. The other person, if you make a decision that this is not a relationship worth saving, there's nothing that that other person can do to change your mind here. That's not how this is coming across. You're going to take steps to either not reach out to that person or not spend time with them, cancel plans, whatever the case may be. But if you decide that you're going to move forward and you're going to heal the relationship with this person or maybe this group of people, then you're going to take the steps necessary in order to make that happen. You can't and you won't rely on the other person to take those first steps. It feels like when it comes to these people specifically, you're the more mature person and you're going to look out for yourself. That's what it's going to come down to. And then last but not least, we have the 12th house. So the 12th house is also one of the malefic houses, also one of those death houses. It's all about things hidden. So secrets, this is your subconscious, you away from the general public, you outside of anybody else's kind of spying eyes, if you will. It's also a spiritual house. It's not just the negative. It's a spiritual house. So this is where you go to kind of rest and recharge. For you, it's in the sign of Virgo, Virgo being the south node. So there's something here that you might be releasing during this eclipse cycle. There might be old beliefs that you might be releasing, or just modifications in the way that you spend your time. There's something about letting go. You've learned a lot of maybe spiritual lessons, things about yourself, and now it's time to release some of that because you've already learned the lesson. Let's get your overall theme. There's so much that happens in the 12th house. I'm always curious as to what the advice here is going to be. We have the World showing up, which is the completion of some cycle. We have the Lover showing up with the Four of Wands. And so there might be something here around a relationship ending. It's going to go one of two ways, because I was picking up similar energy with the 7th house. It's either going to work out or it's not. Your advice was to kind of give it a chance, really let it kind of work out here with that Four of Wands energy. But now that it's showing up here as a 12th house energy, you might be realizing that something here just isn't going to work for you anymore. As part of your evolution and journey, this person is just not keeping up, or they will never keep up, or they're holding you back in some sort of way. And you're going to allow that relationship to kind of come to its natural ending. Or on the flip side here, you're removing and ending any kind of, and ending whatever chapter prevented you from entering into this type of relationship. Because I'm not getting blocks or barriers. What I'm getting is that you were maybe focused on something else that itself has come to some sort of natural ending, and it's opening up space for you to really go after this type of relationship here. I mean, with the Lovers and the Four of Wands, this is pretty significant. We have the King of Pentacles showing up, the Three of Cups showing up, as well as the Ten of Cups showing up in these obstacles or challenges. So as it relates to this kind of things being hidden, whatever this is, the obstacles and challenges have been about you focused on your abundance, or maybe focused on a different type of happiness, focused on your friends instead of family. It feels like your focus is shifting. That could be part of the 11th house energy that I was just picking up, where you have friends that are not okay with your success. They may not be okay with you kind of spending less time with them in order to pursue a romantic connection that would lead to marriage. If you really want to settle down and have a family here, it feels like your friends might be in the way, or at least a small subset of your friends might be in the way. And those are the relationships that you're really reconsidering. And so the advice here for you, we do have that 9 of Swords energy, which is about anxiety, fears. We have the Devil energy showing up too. So where are the limitations and restrictions? 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords, this is a change card. This is all about resolving some sort of conflict. And so either you'll find a way to resolve the conflict or you won't. I'm actually going to get 2 more cards on the best way to navigate this kind of turbulent energy, this 9 of Swords and the Devil. You need to take a different approach. There's something about taking a different approach. When it comes to what you're trying to pursue here, I'm getting stepping out of your comfort zone, doing things differently here with this. Wherever you feel like you're being held back, whomever these people are that are holding you back in some sort of way, and it could even just be your perception that they're holding you back. If you really get down to it and have the conversation, are they actually holding you back, or is it just you projecting onto them in some sort of way? Because it feels like with the Hanged Man energy, you do need to see things from a different perspective and take some sort of different action here and really resolve whatever the conflict is. So that is the 12th house energy. I'm going to put these to the side. I will shuffle off camera and I will get any last messages for you, Libra, for 2025. One more. These are all major cards. We had the Emperor showing up, Aries energy. We have the High Priestess showing up, and we have the Fool showing up. So you have a brand new beginning. This is going to be a lot of trusting your instincts, being able to rely on yourself here. That Emperor energy is very much a solo type of energy. So whatever it is that you're doing in 2025, you're going to be trusting your instincts, trusting yourself, and really forging ahead with whatever this new beginning is. You're not looking back. You're not wanting to look back. You don't want to relive the past here at all. You're really future focused. So Libra, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.